In our last video, we were dipping our toes in the Abaco region of the Bahamas, where we came upon what we think is the finest beach we found in all the Bahamas. Then we did some touring of Green Turtle Cay and Green Turtle Cay Club, where we met a local astronaut. And then we did some exploring on the various beaches and bars throughout Green Turtle Cay. In today's video, we spend some time on Great Guana Cay in the Abacos and hang out at Nippers and Grabbers, two very famous watering holes there. We dodge some thunderstorms on the way back to Green Turtle Cay. We take part in a little bit of cooking, we do some more touring, and then we end up waiting around for a rocket launch that doesn't really go as planned. Have you ever dreamed of selling it all and cruising into the sunset? Well, that's exactly what we did. It's no fun going it alone though, so why don't you join us for the ride? There's nothing like a relaxing cruise in the Bahamas. And Pancake sure did love this one as we left Treasure Cay and made our way over to Great Guana Cay in the Abacos. We planned on a day of bar hopping, so we picked a dock up at Orchid Bay for the night. I think the price was around $1.50 a foot, which was pretty reasonable. We heard they had a nice pool and restaurant, so the group was pretty excited about staying there. Unfortunately, Orchid Bay really didn't live up to the brochure expectations because the pool had closed down probably a number of years ago, and as did the restaurant. A little bit of a bait and switch from their website offering. But that's okay, because we were on a different mission. We walked past Dive Guana. In addition to diving, they rent golf carts and also a few mooring balls in the bay. Live music? Definitely some potential for later. But really, the first stop for the day was at Grabbers, a local, very popular watering hole. You could also anchor in the bay right outside of Grabbers, but today we took the walking route. In addition to great food and drink, Grabbers also has a nice little beach, and they provide some games for little kids and big kids. Welcome to my world. We've been here before and it's been pretty crowded, but I think we're a little early in the season and probably a little bit early in the day. Since we've been here the last time, they added a second level over the dining area, which just goes to show you it gets pretty crowded here. And the bay is pretty calm, so you can pull your dinghy right up and beach it on shore. They even have a nice little adjacent pool, but it was a little cool that day, so we didn't use it. The grounds are very nice as well, and we had an excellent lunch. We would highly recommend hitting Grabbers if you come to this island, either day or night. So after Grabbers, we did about a 10-minute walk to another very popular spot called the Nippers. It's like a bear. It's like a bear. How do you know the way to Nippers? Well, just follow the signs. And being on the ocean side, Nippers has a different vibe than Grabbers and an amazing view. On the day that we were there, the surf was calm and the water was just magnificent. And as you can see in this clip, they spend a lot of time raking the beach and keeping it clean. Nippers has 2 very nice pools that you can hang out at while you're staying there and having drinks or lunch. It wasn't crowded at all that afternoon, so our group had one of the pools all to ourselves. On our way out, Jerry did his best to help a stranded motorist.
That's right.
You got off, it went right back up.
Yeah, of course. Really?
Yeah, where she rode in on.
Yeah.
What's his name? Her
Lily.
name? What is it?
Lily.
Lily.
Lily?
Wait, hold on. Can we
Can
get
I
a picture
see
quick?
in your
With
hand?
Just in my hand.
What's your name?
Brianna.
Brianna.
Lily.
How long have you had Lily for? One day. Was she just... Oh, who's
Your
on there?
friends say they're not trustful.
Wow.
There's lots of people surrounding the chick right now.
Oh, hi, Chicky.
Back off, people.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Help you
That night we strolled back over to Kids Cove to see what was up for live music. We found out there was some sort of benefit for island cats for spaying and neutering. So we decided to partake and then join in some fun. I guess drinking and games don't really mix. One day of drinking on Great Guana Cay was enough for this group, so we were heading back to Treasure Cay to avoid some wind that was coming in the next few days. It was about an hour and a half ride back, but we sort of had to thread the needle between thunderstorms. The boating gods were with us this time, and we were able to thread the needle just perfect, so we didn't really catch a drop. The trip back to Green Turtle Cay was pretty straightforward. We'd go about northwest along this red line here, and in the little yellow line area there, it gets super shallow under an island called Whale Cay, but we only draw 3 feet, so it wasn't a problem for us. But still, we had to slow down in that area. Or should I say, we decided to slow down a little bit just to be sure that we didn't hit bottom. The route under Whale Cay is known as a VPR or Visual Pilot Rules route, which basically means you want to look at water color to help you determine how deep the water is. Light blue, dark blue is good. Sandy color or brown color is not good because you know it's getting super shallow. Those thunderstorms that we had passed earlier had kicked up the seas a little bit. It was a little bit choppy due to the wind, but as we came by Whale Cay, things settled down nicely and it was a pretty sweet ride. I think the shallowest that we ended up seeing was 2.5 feet under our boat, which was perfectly safe.
What you doing?
Oh, I'm making my Brian's famous pork fried rice,
Mm.
which I really never made before, but I've been to hibachi enough that I'm trying to do it here on my hibachi stove here. So little onions, little egg, garlic, some leftover pork tenderloin, and I've got sesame oil and some Kikkoman soy sauce and some day-old rice, and it's been refrigerated, and that's how I'm making it. I think it's gonna be darn good.
It smells good in here.
It does
So
smell good, huh? So we'll see. We'll see how she goes.
Big winds for days. The wind was forecasted to blow at like 25 knots for over 3 days, and it seems like the forecasters were right. Pancake didn't seem to mind having the wind blow her ears back though. Typically, the wind always dies after sunset, but not this time.
Windy, windy, windy.
While we were really protected inside the marina, just outside of it in the mooring field in Black Sound, they didn't fare too well, and you could see there were some pretty sizable whitecaps out there. And this lasted for a few days. Towards the end of the wind event, our friend Lars on the PDQ purring along came in, and he was single-handing, which means he was trying to dock alone and the wind was pushing him away. So a few nice guys from the marina came out in their dinghies to give him a hand. Essentially, they were acting as rubber tugboats. Without much else to do, we decided to rent a golf cart for another day of shenanigans. We had 7 of us this time, and it was fairly reasonable, I think, $100 for the 24 hours. The wind had really whipped up the seaweed and brought it on shore on the windward side of the island. We saw a number of these tracks along the beach. We were trying to figure out what they were. I think they might be hermit crab tracks.
I hope someone else got it.
You have big eyelashes.
Oh.
Look at his tail, it's all curled. He's so cute. But he's not pink and cute. Look, they're not all pink and cute.
Because we need to hit every bar on every island, we had heard about Sundowners, a popular place to go for the sunset. While it doesn't have the nicest looking exterior, it makes up for it with the interior ambiance. The bar is popular amongst locals and cruisers alike, and they even have live music. There's a bar outside where the music's playing, a bar inside, and a pool table area.
When the one that loved is you returns to us at last. Come on, people now. Smile on your brother, everybody get together.
Another reason that we came to this bar is because we knew we'd have a nice view of the Starship rocket launch that was supposed to be taking off from Texas and coming up over the Bahamas. We had seen plenty of Falcon rocket launches from Canaveral, but as this one came into view, we could tell something just didn't look right. Eventually, we started to see some flashes around what we thought was the main rocket. And apparently, the flashes that we saw were pieces of the rocket coming apart as it started to disintegrate. After a few more seconds, it was obvious that this one was a goner. Thankfully, this was an unmanned test flight, so nobody on board was injured, and nobody on the ground was injured as well. So that's a few fun and windy days in the Bahamas. We hope you enjoyed this video, and if so, please like and subscribe to our channel.